The Detroit Pistons tweeted out a congratulations to Rasheed Wallace on your induction into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. He joins us now, an NBA champion and a Michigan Sports Hall of Famer, Rasheed Wallace, hanging out with us on Yahoo Sports Daily. Really incredible to hang out with you this morning. What's it mean to you to see your impact, even on Michigan, immortalized in that way?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me this morning. It was awesome. It was awesome to be recognized by not only the actual city, but also the state, the organization of the Hall of Fame itself for the state of Michigan. Man, it was such a pleasure. I was so blessed.
Congratulations. We
Thank
are,
you.
overjoyed for you getting immortalized in that kind of way. And I do kind of want to take a walk down memory lane. Your
hmm
arrival to the Pistons was widely viewed as the one missing puzzle piece to turning Detroit into a true championship contender. When was the moment that you realized that team was destined to win a championship?
That part I don't know, to be honest. I knew we were going to be good, but I didn't go in there even when we were winning. I didn't go in there like, oh man, we about to win this, except for when we were in the championship. But other than that, I love playing with those guys, man. No egos. Everybody's about team first on that whole team when we were playing together. Not only just the starting five, but I'm talking about the bench as well. Darvin Ham, Corliss Williamson, the late great Eldon Campbell. We were so blessed and fortunate to come together.
All right. So one of the things that amazed me about you, because I don't like what if you're watching games with former NBA players, you always hear the phrase "Paul don't lie." You can walk into a bar somewhere and somebody's going to say "Paul don't lie." So we're getting ready for this, and I'm informed that you are the origin of "Paul don't lie." Where did this come from?
I am not the origin of it.
Okay.
The origin of the phrase "ball don't lie" comes from the Philly streets, playing basketball.
Hmm.
It's not something that I just said. It's what was said when I heard it growing up. So, I can't take credit for I'm the originator of it, but hey, it is what it is. What it is. It's a Philly thing.
You made it famous. We'll at least give you credit for that. Because that is one of the, to, reiterate the sentiment of that tweet, one of the most
Right.
iconic phrases of all time. One of those phrases that you don't even think about it having an origin story because it's so ingrained in our everyday language. Going back to that time, is there a specific story maybe that we don't know about that you think about when you look back on your time with the Pistons?
Oh wow, so many great memories. Um, Man, I would have to say, I guess the time when we all thought Coach Brown was kind of crazy because he called the same play but changed up the way that we ran the play. And I was like, okay, that's genius, but kind of strange. It was only one other person I know that did that, which was my high school coach. So I was like, okay. But no, pound for pound was my guy, one of the best coaches that I played for.
Now
It's
the
amazing.
Pistons always we say the name Detroit Pistons and we immediately say bad boys. This current iteration of the Pistons, they've had a couple instances recently where we've seen some of that bad boy thread. When you see that from these guys, like how's your reaction? As somebody that's lived through it, what would you tell these guys that are out there trying to sort of live through that bad boys moniker?
No, the young fellas are having fun. They're making a stand. They're standing their ground. They're trying to hang their hat on defense, which is going to win games in this league. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. So I think they're trying to put their pieces together the same way that we did back then. So it's coming along slowly for them. Jalen's doing great right now. Mr. Double Double. He's a walking double double in my book. Been knowing the young fella since high school. Same thing with Cade. Cade is put together a basketball package. He has it all. Could dribble, he could shoot, he could post. Now he's working on his defense more. So they're putting it together. The Thompson twin. He's a hellacious defender as well, just like his brother down in Houston. So, man, they're putting it together. They're putting it together.
Looking at that photo, the fight between the Pistons and the Hornets just a couple of weeks ago, we called it on the show Bedlam at the Spectrum because that was the closest thing that we could find to kind of sounded like Malice at the Palace, if we're talking about the bad boy Pistons. But, other than that, the level of toughness and physicality and grit that it seems like this team plays with, what about
Mhm.
this iteration of the Pistons reminds you of your iteration of the Detroit Pistons?
Just seeing them come through the woes. I've seen that team come together. That especially that main core with Cade and Jalen. I seen them go through their woes when they were losing night in, night out, losing 8 straight, 9 straight. You know, uh, Getting swept here and swept there as far as division rivalries. But now they're putting it together. They're a solid team. So you definitely looking at them. They're a playoff team. So they're slowly taking them steps. They're one of the top teams in the East. What more can you say about them? They're putting it together. They're coached well. They're going through them woes. So sooner or later, you're going to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then after that, it could be in the chip because especially if they keep that core guys together and you just keep taking them steps. Because we all went through it when I was with Detroit. That was my glory years, but before that, losing to the Lakers and San Antonio so much in the playoffs when I was with Portland. So, those were my woes. And as we tried to advance it every year, as that team you saw, we lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals that year. But that when I got to Detroit, that was it.
It's funny because you played with such passion in everything you did, right? You played with fire. You played on teams that played with such passion. Now we have a conversation almost every day when we're covering the NBA about tanking. So as somebody that gave so much of your life to the NBA and you see the way that the current climate goes, what do you say to all the people that are trying to fix tanking as a problem?
That's not necessarily going to make your team better. Could you get a bigger pick? Just think of how many top draft picks there have been in a lot of our major sports, not only just basketball, but football itself. Baseball, where a guy's in college or high school, he's real great. Oh, he's the greatest thing. He's number one pick, blah, blah, blah. And he gets to the big show and does what? Fell. So, it's not necessarily like now, what are you going to do? Now, not only is your team, still smelling like boo-boo, but you just added another boo-boo piece and y'all still gonna be lower. Now what you gonna do? So to me, it never really made sense with the tanking thing, just to try to get that high draft pick or this or that. To me, that just means you're looking more for the marketing aspect of it. You're trying to take advantage of your merchandising and this and that by getting you a key figure face out there for your team.
I'm going to steal that phrase. Not only am I stealing Ball Don't Lie, but I'm also going to steal this team smells like boo-boo. So thank you for that. I will credit you every time I use it. We've had so much fun taking a walk down memory lane in your NBA career. I do want to take it back to your days at UNC. Everybody tells me that wearing that uniform, representing that program, one of the most storied and traditional programs in college basketball, it means something. It's a brotherhood.
Yes.
What does the UNC basketball brotherhood mean to you?
The original blue blood. Every other team that's blue want to be like us, of course, but we're the original blue blood. It's something special, especially when it was for my era, that Coach Smith era. Wow, it's something that always gives you great nostalgia every year. Win or lose, it's a great rivalry. It's the best rivalry in collegiate basketball, first of all. But just to play in that uniform every night is like a championship game for that other team. So you're getting challenged. And that made it a great thing for us. I love my time there, my 2 years there. It was just fortunate I had to move on and go to the NBA. But I definitely love my time there. Live there now, in the state of Carolina. Still have a lot of family and friends down there in the area, familiar with the coaching staff, played with some of the coaching staff, watch some of the coaching staff. So it's awesome, man. I love being down there in Carolina. I love playing for UNC itself.
Well, and look, on top of everything, you have nothing left to prove to the basketball world, but yet you're out there now on the floor leading young men. You're the associate head coach at Tennessee Collegiate Academy. What
Hmm.
made you want to start, especially given the way now, man, we talk so much about NIL and all these things like the distractions to young basketball players. What made you want to coach after you were done?
To help young men out. It's not necessarily just basketball and trying to make them NBA stars or college stars. No, it's just trying to make them great men in life. I love coaching down here. We have a great group of guys down here. It's been a blessing. I was invited to be the coach down here around Christmas time. So myself and another coach of mine, Pat Cole, we packed up the car and hey, we're out. It was something I had to help a friend out originally, but it turns into something that like, wow, this is something that I can really, wrap my hands around, be a part of. And, we've been welcomed with open arms here by not only TCA, but also the school TRA, Tipton Rosemont Academy. They've been loving us as well, and it's been a great experience. But just coaching high school basketball itself, been involved with the Nike EYBL camps for the last like 15 years or whatever. So I love it, man. It's been a blessing, and I always look forward to it every year, every spring, seeing the youngest stars coming up, having a little impact on their lives, and it's just been a blessing.
That's incredible. And dare I say, I'm sure you've had more than just a little bit of an impact on your life. I'm sure they'll look back on their high school career and get to say, I got to learn from Rasheed Wallace. Where do you draw inspiration for your coaching style? Do you pick little tidbits or coaching philosophies from former coaches? How would you describe your coaching style?
Well, it's always like that. I think in
Mhm.
any coach, you're going to have your own style, and yeah, you're going to take tidbits here and there because in the coaching world, yeah, we steal each other plays and put little tweaks on it ourselves. But I would say more of my coaching philosophy is old school. Um, like Coach Bill Ellerby, who was my coach at Simon Gratz High School, Coach Dean Smith, who was my coach again down in North Carolina, um, Coach Larry Brown, coach in the NBA, won a championship with this man, and I just take a little bit from all of them and try to put my tweak on it and make that advancement going early with it.